Right, yes, hello, and welcome back to Free Vinyl Discovery. I am very excited to be sharing this record because it is a total new find for me. Well, not exactly, because I do know of this artist, but have never given them the time of day. I've never listened to an album of theirs, so it's quite cool just to get this record for free, just to be able to experiment, try it out. Oh dear, you've probably already seen it, so let's cut to the chase. Elvis Costello and the Attractions with Armed Forces. Now, some of you will have probably found me through Williams Schmilliams, in which case you will know that Tom quite likes Elvis Costello and the Attractions, and this is one that he already owns, so Tom, you better click away. I'm going to have some opinions. These records were all found in a loft, and they were in very good storage, it seems, because this record, just like The Colour of Spring, plays perfectly. Very well stored. A little bit of stainage, but I'm not worried. So, let's have a think about my thoughts then of the album as a whole. It's all right. It's pretty good. I'm not going to say this is going to be one of my all-time favourites in the series, but it's certainly not going to be the worst. It opens very strongly, and I don't think that's by accident, because most of the singles are on the A-side, but it plays brilliantly. Love it. The first few songs on the A-side, Accidents Will Happen, Senior Service and Oliver's Army, were the big standouts for me. I weirdly turned it over midway through and totally forgot that I did that. So I thought, wow, this A-side is going on for a long time. What's going on? But it turns out I had just turned it over in some kind of trance. So that's fun. Elvis Costello and the Attractions is not an artist that I know much about. Elvis Costello is mainly someone that I've heard about through Tom. That being said, I did actually know Oliver's Army and had never connected it to him. So that's fun. That's one of my favourite things, actually, about learning about new artists, is hearing songs that actually I'd already heard. I had a similar experience with Crowded House, where I'd heard loads of songs on the radio, and then I started piecing it together and listening to... I started out with Weather With You, then I found Don't Dream Us Over, and then I heard Fall at Your Feet, realised that was Crowded House. I was like, oh my God, that's Crowded House. Yeah, I love that. I think it's great to actually join the dots with an artist that you've heard about in passing and then realise they've actually released more than you think. And that is what happened, at least with listening to this record, Elvis Costello and the Attractions. This is a slightly shorter episode than my last one, but I'm contented with that. I want you to tell me about Elvis Costello and the Attractions and what it means to you. So leave a comment down below, tell me some fun facts, maybe your experience of Elvis Costello, how much you love him and how much I've actually upset you by saying I think it's all right and not amazing, or whether you've also not heard of Elvis Costello, or indeed not heard any of his music. I want a discussion because I'm only discovering these. I'm playing these for the most part on first listen unless they are albums that I've already been familiar with, because these are records that I haven't chosen. These are records that have just fallen into my hands. So I'm learning as I go along. You think that my impressions of music are going to be a little bit basic, but really this series is all about just listening to the stuff, showing you what I've managed to get my hands on with no effort put in. And really, it's saving a load of records from what would have otherwise been a pretty poor fate. After all, these were going to be binned. So I'm giving them one last hurrah. This isn't going to leave my collection, it's all right. I did enjoy it enough to go, actually, I'm pretty glad I didn't get rid of that. And I think it's really good to be giving these albums one last chance. They've been sort of put in storage for about 3 decades, and now they're finally getting out again and getting some new love and appreciation. So, with that in mind, thank you for watching. I look forward to seeing the discussion play out down below.